this COVID-19 changes quite often, the different circumstances and where it's hotspot or not. And so what about the situation, maybe Mr. Guyman help us out here, what if things change, or what if we do have a person in our building, a student or a teacher, a person that has been tested and gets positive for COVID-19? Now what do we do?
So two things, one, just following up on Mr. Bertosh's response. One thing that I've seen that our staff, our teachers have just been amazing at through all of this, and even before this, is adapting to meet the needs of students. And as the needs change, we adapt and change. And they're great professionals, and I've gained just a huge amount of respect for our teaching community. But we will communicate out to parents as changes need to be made and let you know, and as we need to adapt. What our understanding is, so let's say I, for example, have a fifth grader, and let's say she identifies as, is identified as positive with COVID-19. We'll be notified by the health department, and through contact tracing, we'll identify any high-risk individuals who were in close contact with that child, and let the parents know so they can be monitored. And if there's a group of students, that obviously test positive, or any student that tests positive, they'll be quarantined, until clearance is given, from their healthcare provider that they're ready to come back to school and that things are safe. But yeah, we'll stay in close contact with parents and let parents know, and that's one of the reasons we're doing these things such as assigned seating and social distancing, and so that makes it easier to contact trace kids and limit the number of students that are exposed, to any student or adult who does test positive, so that we can keep school running as smoothly as possible. But then also, if that student does need to be quarantined, our teachers and district staff have gone above and beyond to prepare online curriculum for them. This last spring, it was a miracle for them to throw together, our teachers, what they did in a matter of 48 hours to get ready to provide online instruction. A lot of work has been done over the summer to prepare a curriculum, to prepare resources for students, that if a student does have to be home for an extended period of time, they shouldn't miss a beat. They'll still be supported through online means and online instruction, and still have contact with great teachers. And so we feel like we have a really great system in place to really support and help kids that do need to stay home or are sick for a period of time, and help their parents. So
very good. Well,
that should work hopefully pretty well for us.
I think we all will agree to that. Our teachers, we really appreciate the work, and they have been just great. If things change, they take care of whatever is needed, and we sure appreciate them. So, well, thank you very much there. Some have asked about when the temperature is being taken, and how often, are we going to check the temperature of every kid every day, or how that is going to work. Mr. Forsyth, would you speak to maybe that symptom monitoring, temperature checking protocol that we have?
Sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask parents, first of all, to be kind of our first line there and monitor their kids who aren't feeling well, and ask them to keep kids home who aren't feeling well, and maybe help us out a little bit there, so we're not having quite so many kids. I know it's tempting to send your kids to school with just a sniffle or something, but we need to be extra cautious right now under these circumstances. So we're going to ask parents to monitor that first and not send their kids to school if they're not feeling well. I think Mr. Guyman touched on resources online, and if those classwork and that material is available online, I think the kids can still have access to the education they need and get that from home for a few days while they're not feeling well. But if a student does get to school, we're just going to ask our teachers to monitor symptoms. Every classroom will have a no-touch thermometer, so that if there is a question, the teachers can take that temperature. But we're just going to monitor kids, and if someone's not feeling well, we're going to have a designated room in the school where we can send those kids who may be symptomatic or have not be feeling well until someone can come and pick them up and kind of keep them isolated there until parents can get them. But it's really going to be just an effort of everybody in the school, along with the parents and the kids to let us know when they're not feeling well, or to be a little more sensitive to keeping their kids home or taking their kids home when they're not feeling well. But we'll monitor that, and I think we can help, keep sick kids home when they need to be home, and help out that way.
Very good.